Okay, guys, so we are going to review decimals again today. Remember, as a sixth grader, you need to be able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals fluently. So that means quickly and easily. Let's start with a number. Let's say we have this number. So if I'm going to say that number as a decimal, which is something you should have learned in fifth grade, I would say this number first, 348 and 75, this is tenths, hundredths. So 348 and 75 hundredths. If I add another number back there, so now I have tenths, hundredths, thousandths. 348 and 751 thousandths. So that's how you say a decimal or read a decimal, number with a decimal. So if we look at subtracting today, let's say we have the number 67 and 8 hundredths, and we're subtracting 12 and 5 tenths. Now, guys, a common mistake that happens, and I'm going to show you one of the things that I always see with students, is when they write this, they write it like this. This number is not the same as this number. But because this has 1, 2, 3 numbers, and this has 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers, we tend to just line up these 3 numbers with these 3 numbers, and that is not correct. This number is 12 and 5 tenths, and this number is 1 and 25 hundredths. So that is not correct. The correct way you would write it, 67 and 8 hundredths minus, go ahead and write your decimal point down, and then fill in your numbers around it. So I have one place behind the decimal, a 5, and then I have a 2 and a 1. So that's 12 and 5 tenths. Now I need to put my 0 here to fill that placeholder. So I can subtract 8, take away 0 is 8. 0 or nothing, take away 5, I can't do. So I have to borrow one whole number from this whole number 7, and 10 tenths is the same as one whole, so this becomes 10 tenths. That becomes a 10. The one I borrowed, give it to the 0, and it becomes a 10. 10 take away 5 is 5. 6 take away 2 is 4, and 6 take away 1 is 5. So 54 and 58 hundredths. Now, I want to show you one other type of problem that you may encounter. So let's say I have 124 and 3 tenths minus 14 and 15 hundredths. Okay, so again, it's important that you line your decimal points up. So I'm going to say 124 and 3 tenths. Go ahead and put this decimal place underneath here. And then you can just fill in the numbers around it. So there's 1 right behind the decimal point, and then a 5. There's a 4 right in front of the decimal point, and then a 1. Okay, so as you can see, I have some empty spots. Now with subtraction, this is really important, guys. You have to put that 0 up there. You can't just bring this 5 straight down, because this is actually a 0 in hundredths place. And I'm going to put a 0 here. So 0 take away 5, I have to borrow. I'm going to borrow a tenth, and a tenth is equal to 10 hundredths. So I borrow 1 from here and give it to this 0. 10 take away 5 is 5. 2 take away 1 is 1. 4 take away 4 is 0. 2 take away 1 is 1. And 1 take away 0 is 1. So my answer is 110 and 15 hundredths. All right, guys, we're going to practice some on our own.